Welcome to our parish. This is St. Clement Parish in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. And we've been asked to restore a whitewashed crucifix. It's a beautiful sculpture, and it is 120 years old next month. So it had been whitewashed, and we've been asked to repaint it in full color. We're going to take you inside now on our journey of restoration. Since this beautiful white crucifix could not come down, it meant we were going up. The scaffolding installed, and despite our fear of heights, the project started way up top, with a close-up inspection that revealed broken fingers on both hands of the corpus, some other breaks and cracks, but most notably, it was high above the church floor. At the start of every project comes cleaning. An inspection here reveals a broken back of the index finger. On the feet and garment, old paint chips that were just painted over and now need thorough sanding or even replastering. Broken pieces of the crown of thorns and more paint chips to be sanded smooth on his forehead and face. The corpus, the body of the crucifix, has been thoroughly washed, all the dirt and dust taken off, and I'm at a stage now where I'm going to start sanding down some of the imperfections, lines that were left from previous paint layers. And as I take some of it off, you can actually see some of the skin tone coming through, some of the blood on the knees and shins, and that tells us that the statue was in full color. We're going to do our best to make sure it goes back to full color, much along the lines of the original when it was brought into the church more than 100 years ago. There are a few areas out of sight, like the broken shoulder area here, the arm connection very visible, and a chunk of missing plaster will be replaced. Next, Christ's left hand with a cracked thumb and a second finger that's barely holding on. The answer to that is to apply an epoxy-based mixture that is permanent and much stronger than plaster. Detailed sanding with a 400 grit paper gets the face and other key parts of the crucifix ready for the artist to take over. We resculpted a piece of the crown of thorns, and the shoulder hole is filled and smoothed. While the flesh tones are painted below, the white cross is transformed to chestnut wood with gold trim.
Because the crucifix is life-sized, it's emotional to work on the body of Jesus. I want the reality of his suffering and death by his wounds and the shedding of his blood to connect with people as they pray.
Our focus once again moves up to the top to work on Jesus' hair, the ligature marks on his wrists, and the piercing wounds on his hands.
Jesus' shoulder wounds and bruising are sometimes overlooked, and the ligature marks on his wrists. But these were part of the brutality of crucifixion, and we needed to capture them.
And as the in re sign, the King of the Jews, is rehung, we reflect on the restorations. His broken hands, the chipped white paint of his feet and ankles, the brutal wound from the soldier's spear in his side, and the crucifix restoration from 1904 to 2024 is complete.